Hi. Right off the bat, as they say, there are a few things that are wrong with this recording. One being that it's very noisy here. And let me adjust my screen. Okay. It's really noisy, and I'm still recording, so I hope the voice separation will do its job. Another thing that is wrong is I'm wearing a singlet yet again. I apologize for that. The reason being that, one, Israel is really warm at this time of year, so every time you see me in a singlet, it means it's really in the midst of summer. And that's the way that I'm go about my house. And when I go recording, I don't have the energy to switch to something more formal, and I'm really warm, and I don't want to put on the conditioner, which I hate. Another thing that's wrong with this recording is that I have a general idea of why I came here, but I don't quite know exactly what I'm going to say word for word. Maybe it's wrong, maybe not. So, and there might be some noises in the background because I'm supposed to be in work, and some sporadic emails might go in. It's a slow day at work. So I don't quite know. I might look about a lot because that's the way I am when I think, because I don't quite know what I'm going to say, what I want to say. And I'm just getting another book for my mic, so it's going to be closer to me. Great. So, right action. What is it? That's the headline of this video. What I see is that being aligned through my actions with what I tend to call divinity sometimes is not an on-off application, meaning it's a sliding scale. I can be more or less aligned, and it's the process of alignment is a real transformational process that takes the whole of my life, and it's a gradual succumbing to, one moment. So the gradual process of succumbing to some kind of inner intuition or inner frequency. And in my experience, it's like lately, especially, I feel like there are forces that pull me away from that alignment, and there are of course forces that encourage that alignment. And basically what encourage alignment is turning within and listening and meditating. And what turns me away from that alignment is more it's a wider scope of things that just distract me and pull me to aimlessly direct my attention outwards. And the reason, there's an inner reason for that outer focus that pulls me away from inner focus and inner listening to the guidance that I'm supposed to be aligned with. And the inner reason for the outer distractions is all kinds of inner wounded patterns that are active in my psyche. And when I turn inwards, I kind of tend to feel more into my somatic landscape. And in that somatic landscape, there are both messages from my innermost self, which I'm wanting to align with, but in that landscape, there are also there's also content, which is remnants of wounded parts that are carrying pain, that are carrying fear, and thus there's both a pull to attune inwards and there's a rejection of that because it comes with facing this discomfort. So when for some reason or another we get on the path of alignment, which means we start to be more and more called or interested in aligning with something that can be called divine influence or divine will, maybe, if you will. That path of alignment for me correlates strongly with the path of integration, meaning that integration and healing, actually, because it's like, to be simplistic for a moment, the will of God is within me. So if I want to listen to it, it's not outside. Nobody can tell me what the right thing to do, what right action is. I have to be like in a kind of inward, very soft, but inward focus, not too rigid, not too concentrated, but soft inner listening, relaxed, peaceful, abiding. But then when I go there, something kind of pushes me out again, because there are like remnants of pain sitting in the same place or around the same place. And this is something that is described brilliantly in the Law of One material. If you know it, it's a small reference for anyone. You don't have to know it, especially the Law of One one-on-one book, 101 book that Carla wrote. But that's just a reference for whoever knows the Law of One. But it's really described very well, the way that there's this wrapping around our heart that is made out of our old painful patterns, ego wounds. And the explanation that she gives there, why we have to go through healing when we also go through enlightenment or alignment, or the process of gradually coming together with divine impulse. Okay, so there's something pulling me into my truth, hopefully, if that's my fate. And there's something rejecting me from that place, because when I go inside, I meet this discomfort. And it's just a fact that there are very strong parts in me that will do anything and everything to avoid feeling that discomfort. And that is why I would say I find myself betraying myself a lot. It's not because I'm not genuinely interested in alignment. I have a lot of proof to the contrary, but at the same time, touching into our wounds 24/7 is really hard. It's really hard. It's really challenging. So if we put aside this fact that alignment can be challenging because there are things that stand between us and it, because of those remnants of wounding that we tend to want to avoid feeling. If we put that aside, I want to give an account of something that I thought of today. I realized that today, a kind of litmus test, a kind of definition of how it feels and how it looks when I act in an aligned way. I noticed that I tend to seek action, either because I want to be busy and not feel what I'm feeling, or because sometimes I have a lot of like this annoying creative energy that wants to express itself in some way, or because I want to serve, like I want to make correct action in the world. But those kind of things are really differ in a big way. It feels different. So how do I differentiate and discern my action and start to attune to when it's right action and when it's just a way of myself to run for myself? I think that kind of definition can help me pay attention to when I'm trying to avoid myself by acting too much. Not all people have this problem of being too active, but I do. So what I thought about today is a few elements that can describe right action. One is that when I engage in right action, I'm usually not too hung up and like very identified and nervous around having to do what I'm doing. It flows and I'm kind of chill about it. So one definition is, the way that I would say it is, I'm chill about it. Sometimes there's a lot of energy to do it, and even a lot of, quite a lot of assertive quality to my actions. Like I really do know what I want to do, and I'm pretty clear with my environment of what I want to achieve and do. But inside, there's this chill, like there's this coolness about it. Two, the coolness is also especially about outcomes. Like when I find myself engaged in correct action, it's like I'm doing what I'm doing because it's right, not because of the outcome. Sometimes I'm interested in the outcome, especially if there's someone involved and I'm trying to help them. I can be really interested in the outcome. But there's a feeling of, if I'm interested in the outcome, it's especially about someone else. I'm not so much interested in the outcome for myself, meaning that I'm not trying to do this action to achieve or better my position in any way. So, and even if there's a prospect that I will better my position in any way, it registers for me and I know it, and I can like say to myself, oh, this is also can be beneficial to me. But it's not, there's a strong sense of, that's not a reason, that is not the main reason I'm doing this. Maybe I'll give an example later to that. So I'm chill, and I'm especially chill about the outcome. And if I'm interested in the outcome, it mostly is about someone else, caring about their welfare, and not about any outcome to my own welfare, even if I can benefit from the action. That's two. Another thing, three, is that usually when there comes right action in the way that I perceive it, for me personally, uniquely, it's usually about one of two things. One is creative energy, so there might be like suddenly a creative energy that I feel that is available and that is concentrated like a laser, and it wants to take form in some way. Maybe doing this video, maybe creating a site for people to invite people to come to me, maybe just giving therapy is also creative, requires a lot of creative energy. There's some kind of feeling that this is something that engages my creativity. This is, for me, it's true. I think that it's not true for anyone, because some people are more creatively inclined, some more relationship inclined. But for me, it's really very much the case. Or if it's not creative energy, I can feel right action channeling through compassionate energy. So maybe it's not quite creative what I'm doing, but if I really feel like a lot of compassion and that I want to act according to that compassion, there's a better chance that that is right action. That is aligned action with divine will, or however you want to call it. Oh, okay. Another thing for me, and I think this really speaks to, is related to what is called in human design strategy and authority, because I'm defined in human design system as an emotional authority. And that is, if you don't know anything about it, I'll just say that human design system is a system that trains us to make decisions in the moment that are really aligned with us. And emotionally defined people, according to human design, are people that need time to feel what is correct for them, what is aligned for them. So I think it relates to that, but maybe even if you don't know human design, you might relate to it, which is right action for me is something at least that I took time to consider what is the impact on other people. If I didn't wait and I didn't go through at least an initial process of giving myself time to assess not only the impact on other people, but then again also when starting something, what will be the demand on my energy going forward? Okay, so it's like twofold. What is the impact on other people of what I'm going to do? And what will be the energetic output that I'll have to put in if I start this endeavor? So for me, it's not only about doing the thing. Sometimes it is only about that. But usually there's a kind of time gap that I take for myself. This is dark. Okay. That I take for myself, at least to assess basically if I'm going forward with this action, how it will develop in the near future and even in the far. For example, if I want to open a Telegram group for some reason for people to interact with each other. Okay, so I'm opening a Telegram group and I most probably would have to manage it. And then I might like managing it and I might not like managing it. So I might close it at some point. So if I'm opening, it's like opening a service for people. The question that I will usually go through in my system is, am I at peace with opening this group and also with the prospect of maybe I would close it if I won't like managing it? And what kind of energy output or anything else would be required of me to manage this group? How tightly it would have to be managed? I kind of have to go through the assessment of that. So I know that this is like morally aligned for me to even start when I know that I might drop it at some point. So this might like sound as a really taxing way of thinking about things, but for me, it's natural, because if I start something, I have a lot of ideas to start things, quite a lot of ideas. And if I would start everything that I wanted to start in the past, I would juggle so many balls and I would disappoint so many people, because I would probably want to check out of many of those initiatives. So it's really advisable for me to take heed of that kind of possibility that I might close something that I open even before I open it, because for me, disappointing people is a big thing. I don't like it. So when I record a video like this, I can upload it, I can unload it, I can annul it, and probably no one will get hurt. Even if it's really beneficial information for someone, which in this case I'm doubting, but I did record some more substantial stuff that people can really use. But still, they got the information and they went on. That's the way it is in YouTube, usually. And it's not such a big deal. But some things, when you start them, you have to sustain them. And it's a kind of framework for people, and they really lean on that framework. And for me, it's important to give that a thought before I move. So if it's a big endeavor that impacts people or even offers sustainable support that they really, really need, that would be another characteristic of correct. I wish my screen wouldn't go so dark every once in a while. Let me adjust it. Okay. So yeah, that's the idea. So I'm sure I'm missing something, but I think those four are pretty good. Maybe if I name them, I'll remember another one. Aligned action is when I'm feeling cool about things, not when I'm in what is called in human design, the high or the low of my wave, but when I'm kind of chill about it. Also, right action is when I'm not only chill about doing it, I'm chill about the outcome. I might feel passionate about the welfare of someone that I'm acting to help, but I'm not so high strung about benefiting myself from that action. I just want to do it because it's right for me, and also because I'll enjoy doing it. It's a way for my energy to flow in a beneficial way, in a right way, in a correct way that feels really aligned with all my parts and with my morality, and everything is synced together in that moment. And speaking of energy, for me personally, when I do right action, usually it's about a kind of creative energy or compassionate energy that is flowing through me into action. And finally, right action is when I really gave myself time to be at ease and at peace with whatever continual investment I would have to make in the project that I'm considering, and I give myself time to consider whether I'm at ease with dropping the project and its maintenance when I feel like I don't want to do it anymore. So this last component makes it more, I don't know why the light keeps adjusting. It's really annoying. Okay, I can't control it. So this last element is the one that is most complex and makes the act of flowing with the right action sometimes feel more complicated because it takes time. It takes time. If it's a simple action and not many people are impacted, and especially if not many people will be impacted from me dropping or stopping whatever I'm thinking of doing, taking the video down, for example, then it's not such a big problem. But if I'm thinking about something bigger with more impact, and I'm thinking, I want to do this is something creatively that my energy feels it wants to flow through, but it's gonna impact many people, quite a few people, or a few people that I really care about. And then I have to give it time. And then I might feel this like frustration that, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I want to do, I don't know what to do. Or quite basically, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I really want to do something. Because my energy is already like activated to an extent just by thinking about that idea. And there's this power in me that goes like, oh, I really want to do that. It can be so fun. And there is also a kind of ego element in me that gets really psyched about impacting people. And that, I would say, has almost zero to do with real right action. It's an ego element that really feels like it's part of my personality, that I feel I feel more secure when I matter to people. I feel more secure when I have a role in society, especially if it's something that I chose to do. So this marriage of choosing to do or initiating something and then engendering some kind of role in society for myself where people rely on me and are grateful for my contribution and get some service from me, is something that makes me feel really secure. The more needed I am, the more secure I feel, basically. It has also complex elements around it, but to make it really simple, this is the ingredient that's inside, that's within this, and then this kind of part agenda that wants to secure a role for myself, to matter to people, to serve as a point of attraction to people around me. This, when I think of an idea, it comes into activation, and it starts trying to push me to act, push me to contribute, push me to start things, because this part of me wants to enjoy the security. And I have my reason why I want security in society. I'm not so successful socially, and there are like gaps in my social interaction structure in life. So there are reasons why I feel this urgency to correct that and to better my position in society. So I would have more support, more friends, more of a tribe. So that is the part that has not much to do with right action, but it really gets like excited and even frustrated if I don't go forward with a creative idea that I'm thinking of. And when I'm waiting to understand, is this right action? Waiting to relax and be cool about the outcomes, and not act from fear of not having enough friends and not having enough security and not having enough meaning in life, which also is a big agenda that comes up. I want to be meaningful to myself and others. So yeah, that's my rant about how I'm working currently. It's very fresh, very new in the way that I'm, one moment. Sorry, got disturbed with a phone call. Yeah, so that's it. That's my rant about dealing with discerning right action. Thank you.